fight your way back into a game, back and forth game, and to lose it like that is pretty devastating. So, looking at the game, we came out and we played well early, ran the ball well, put some points up. Defense was outstanding, and then we had the error at the end of the half that gave them some momentum, and then they came out in the third quarter and we busted a coverage, we got blocked on a coverage, and we got beat on a coverage. And our offense continued to fight. So on a day when our offense showed up and Taekwon made big strides, we threw the ball down the field and we ran the ball with authority. The defense didn't uphold our end of the deal, and that's very disappointing, obviously. So and then that last play there, contemplated going for two, but I felt like our guys had fought so hard. I wanted to give them a chance to win it in overtime, and it just goes to show you can never take any play in athletic competition for granted. And if you do, bad things happen, and a bad thing happened right there.
How much growth did you see in your offense today? Were you able to move the ball, switch that last drive?
A lot of growth. And the unfortunate thing right now for this football team through 5 games is our growth has been inconsistent. You see growth in one area and not in another area. We have to grow as a team, and that's disappointing. And someone asked me, what do you say to a team when something like that happens, and you tell them that there's only one option, and that's to stay together and fight through it. That's how you deal with adversity, because you understand that everyone on the outside is going to be taking shots at you, rightfully so. This is a performance-based business. Everyone has their opinions. They're entitled to them. Right now, they're all valid. So the only thing that we can do is continue to stay together, fight our way out of this, find ways to improve together as a team, and that's what we intend to do. And but in terms of the offense and Taekwon's growth today and our ability to throw the ball down the field a little bit and run the ball consistently, I think it's pretty hard to argue with that.
When you mentioned taking a play for granted, what did happen on the extra point?
What I saw without looking at the film, and I asked right after the game, is that area between your wing and your left end is sometimes a soft spot, and that left end has to be able to punch inside and punch outside and secure that D gap that we call it, and it was not secured, and they broke through and made a hell of a play, but it can't come down to that. It shouldn't have come down to that. I mean, that's wow. Those will hurt you. So now the job is to get these guys, we're all going to hurt for a while, and then get back going and, fight and fight and fight and fight and learn lessons through adversity and apply them going forward, not just on the field, but in life. And so that's the only option, it's the only option, and that's what we're going to do.
Coach, I apologize if you already addressed it, but what changed that led to those explosive shot plays?
There's 4 issues. The one at the end of the first half was not a good call. The second one was we got beat. We busted the coverage. The third one was our right corner got blocked and lost leverage. And the fourth one was a guy beat us. He just simply got beat there. So there was really 4 different things, Bad call, bust, blocked, beat.
Can you talk a little bit about the journey of Cam Edwards, coming here as a defensive back, now being a future running back in the offense?
We kind of talked about him for a while, really since training camp, and it just shows you, he's a resilient young man. You're right. He was a dual. Played both sides of the ball in high school. Was, I think, the player of the year in our state. We put him on defense. He was working hard, but it didn't seem to fit his skill set. So we moved him over to offense. He never blinked. He just keeps, he keeps grinding it out. And he's a guy that's seizing his opportunity. And hats off to him for doing that. And we're going to count on him more and more.
Did you expect to see Jelani play such a big role when you first started getting into it? You caught a pass there.
He did. You never know how the game's going to play out in terms of the short yardage situations, but I think, one of the important things you have to be able to do is utilize the players on your team and the things that they do well. He was a running back in high school, and so just having the opportunity to hand him the ball and feel that he's going to secure it, know how to take a handoff, know how to lower his pads, know how to drive his legs into the into the defender and get in the red zone is big. And then he's a pretty athletic guy, as we saw on that pass. That was a nice grab by him. It was a nice throw by Taquan. So just trying to find ways to maximize the abilities of these players is what we have to continue to do. You search high and low for ways to put them in positions to win.
Jim, do you ever ask your players about going for two, or is that a call you always make yourself?
It's the first time that I've had to make that decision in my career, that I can remember. And I'm not going to go back and look. You can, but I believe that's the first time. And I actually, I contemplated it, But I felt this, all right, and this is why you have to think about all aspects of your decision, is number one, we had momentum on offense, and number two, we'd finally regained momentum on defense, all right? And so when you have those two factors going in your favor, then you certainly wanted to go to overtime. I'll be second-guessed on that. I'm not going to second-guess myself on that because I still think it's the right decision. I didn't expect it to end that abruptly. We were getting prepared to, they were going to have the ball with 35 seconds left and one timeout, and they were going to try to get in field goal range. So we were trying to figure out, what we wanted to play to try to stop them.
Can you describe the emotions on your sideline during that, after that play?
Well, before, it was, you talk about going from a high to a low in a millisecond. As soon as, ball snapped and you hear, it nosedives. So my job is to, amongst other things, is to make sure that these young men continue to work, continue to believe, continue to trust, continue to close the ranks, continue to, block out the noise, and stay together. That's always a challenge when you're going through a losing streak right now.
So when you know all the things that you just mentioned, standing together, etc., we had a period when a few people have left the program in the middle of the season. Does that start to concern you, or is that just part of college football today? Or the people who were here wanted to show that to them?
That's a great question. I think both. It's always a concern. You want to know the reasons, certainly. It's also a part of college football, an unfortunate part of college football right now. I want players to have success in life, in football, put themselves in the best position to do it. I'm not a big fan of the ability of a player to play 4 games and then, decide that he doesn't want to be with that team and have the ability to go transfer and play at the start of next year. I think that the portal and the NIL are two things that the NCAA is navigating its way through, and hopefully we can, figure out a better way to do those things, because I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy at all. I think we're teaching people how to take the easy way out. And the blowback on that would be, well, a coach can leave at any time. A coach can go to another school at any time. Yeah, but they don't in the middle of the season. They don't leave their teams in the middle of the season. So everyone has their own reason for doing it. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I don't think it's good, but it's something that we have to deal with.
I think the biggest growth today, Taquan, did you like what you saw in him, or anybody else who really kind of stepped forward?
Taquan, Cam Edwards, Jordan Porter, did I say Cam Ross?
Yeah.
Cam Ross. I said Cam Edwards, but I'm Cam Ross as well. And then the group, like the offensive group, having that. We've struggled for 4 games, right, on offense, and they found a way to break through, right? And they did it together. They ran the ball well, and they converted, and then they put it in at the end. We haven't done that around here for a while. So just that growth as a team, and the disappointing thing certainly is that the other two phases of the game, particularly for me, the defense didn't with 2 good quarters isn't enough. It's a 4-quarter game. You got to play well. So, and you got to be able to protect on a dang PAT. So that was a first as well. Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you.